Hello, everyone. Thank you for clicking in. It is Monday. Monday. The camel. That's hump day. Hump day. Got a few more days for that. Wednesday. Poor Wednesday. What did Wednesday do to anybody? Nobody asked Wednesday if he wanted to be Wednesday. Anyhow, so what? Got a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of stuff. And of course, the main thing is they're doing our guy Trump wrong always, as usual. And we're going to come back with a vengeance so far as the choosing process that happens in 2024. So the left is doing a lot of really interesting maneuvers to left. And I say left, I have to find a category to get somebody into. We got a brand. We need a brand. I'm an American, by the way. That's my brand. Yep. There's nothing wrong with being MAGA or anything. And the reason why I decided to go American is because like I said, the branding. When you have the ability to brand something, you have the ability to make to invert that. And if you want to invert anything, just take Americans and just start saying all Americans are bad. That's why I'm thinking it's a good idea if we go with Americans instead of MAGA, because then that just lumps every single person in the United States into Americans, and they're not going to go there. And so it would be really hard to attack that brand. Now, don't get me wrong, they will, and they are, but they'll do it in methods of where they just take people that live in America who want to have a certain ideology and use that as division. So if everybody says we're Americans, boy, I'm gonna tell you what, you really put a monkey wrench in the cog of the gears to stop that machine from doing that. So think about that. Just something to think about. Something to think about. Brands, WEF, World Economic Forum, ties pretty deep with a lot of politicians, and they don't want to be just exact. Here we go with this whole thing. Well, they know that branding has the ability to invert. So what they do is they use cutaway companies, cutaway people, cutaway organizations. And so when we say WEF, well, we've got to remember all the people who are underneath the wing of the WEF, or the WEF underneath the wing of these people, depending on how you look how the investors are. I have a point. I'm getting somewhere. Now, WEF funds a lot of organizations like BlackRock and Goo and all them crazy people. So, and they all benefit from all the money that gets exchanged. Now, in order to make things a little easier to operate in certain areas, you need to have people in your back pocket or on your side. We'll call it on your side. And now, the article I'm going to show you sounds good, but I'm always questioning the motives behind when I see something good happening, like when our politicians do something good. My motives are immediately under question when it comes to what's going on. I'm like thinking to myself, wow, they're doing something, guys. They're doing something. And so now in Texas here, this new thing is they're going to put these buoys out in the Rio Grande or whatever that river is. It's a big river, big creek river looking thing that the people have to cross in order to get over to this side, to America. And there was a whole different process that went with how Trump handled it with Mexico, because what they did is they knew that they'd have to stay in Mexico, so Mexico was kind of securing their border down there and kind of watching how things were going there, so you didn't need these buoys and all this stuff. And I'm going to go deep this. I'm going to show you the article. I'm going to get a little bit deeper to it. Guubanerr Gregg Abbott has decided to go with using these buoys to help hamper and stop the people that swim across. Okay, and it also, and I'm going to give you all the pros. It keeps the what do you call it, the people, the border crossing guard guys, the La Migra, keeps them from opening the fence and letting them in. Because the La Migra could be infiltrated by a cartel. They could have people working for them that work for the cartel, and that could be reason why we see a lot of the fencing getting cut and opened up to bring them on in. So that does have an aspect of being kind of a permanent structure, temporary permanent structure in the creeks and all this stuff, the waterways, and it's really hard to move and get out of the way, and it'd be really hard to get people across that. So that would, that is a good deterrent. However, what will happen is if they try to swim underneath it, there's netting and all that to keep people from going underneath it. So there's a good chance that you'll see some issues with that. That there will be some drownings that will be reported finally. I mean, there's so many drownings that happen right now, like just people crossing normal without any obstruction. That that whenever you like Ted Cruz and all these people went down to check everything out, riding on the boat, and like it looked like kind of like the boat from McHale's Navy, P-57. Anyways, they would report all the people floating in the waters there, and of course mainstream media doesn't. No mainstream media says, "Oh my gosh, look at all these people getting injured trying to cross," all this stuff. But they will whenever they try to get underneath that net and can't make it. Now that'll be the new media thing, and then you'll have a whole bunch of limp-wristed lefties who will call for that thing to be removed, and it'll be gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court by Texas's border, they have the constitutional right to secure that border, but somehow or another through Texas Supreme Court things and this, that, and the other, they'll slow walk everything and mess it all up. But anyways, that's just foreseeable future. Now, why would Texas Governor Greg Abbott be doing this? I mean, he should be, but to me, there should have been something done a long time ago. Why are we doing this now? Why are we waiting until now to do it? And better yet, why are you allowing them? Why are you busting them further in? Why don't you take the bus and flip it back around and skedaddle it right back across the border and say, try again, please? There's something up with that. Now, you're wondering, why did I mention the WF and all that stuff? Because Abbott is backed by some of that globalist money. He's been at WF get-togethers, and there's so many instances where he's been bumping elbows with these globalist elites that only tells me that there's a reason why they're slowing it down a little bit. There must be so much information leaking out of France getting over here, or see what's happening over here, that this would be a way to sort of do political theater. And also because you can't have everything collapse but so fast. They probably see that things are happening a little bit too fast, moving too fast here, guys. We're waking up some normies, and so we need to slow this down a little bit and make it look like we're doing something, get everybody to quit worrying about it. Because now that movie just came out, The Sound of Freedom, everybody's got their eyes and ears on immigration and all this stuff now. And so that's another little thing to kind of distract and get you to lull back and sleep. By the way, don't forget to listen to your new country music, because that'll help you really lull. That'll lull you right back. America, America, America. Whatever. Some pander. Tell them to people what they want to hear. And, let them, buy this little song on iTunes. And so that way we can keep funding fiat money to all these people that are actually involved in the global collapse. But so maybe it's a good thing. Maybe Abbott is actually up to something good. Maybe he has woke up and said, you know what, I'm tired of being with that WEF people. I really care about America now. Maybe. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt if I can see further instances. But when I see people there, like at those meetings, they think I won't be seeing that mess. Like I've seen Joe Manchin there too. Joe Manchin's supposed to be the cold country man, king, help America, help. Shoot. He got him a nice pontoon boat. Thanks, guys. And so, I should read the article though. Let me get out of the way here and read the article a little bit about what's going on with all that there and all. Democrats freak out and sue Texas Governor Greg Abbott over he unleashed his new method of stop Biden's border invasion. Texas Governor Greg Abbott triggered the leftists on Friday. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, even our side on the media is kind of like feeding into that, after announcing the Lone Star State has moved towards with a new plan to deter illegal immigration. As Fox News reported Friday, Abbott previously announced that Texas would be installing its marine barrier installation to deter border crossings. This is a set of these things here. And there's a little video. I'll show you real quick. Bear with me. Come on, technology, do me thing out here. You can see they interlock together. So that's some possible diversity hires there. I don't know. I know I'm sounding like, but I'm not easily. It takes a long time. Like Elon, if you're watching this, dude, I don't trust you right yet, but I want to. So keep doing something good. We'll get there. Same thing with you, Mr. Abbott. I don't trust you. I've seen you do bad things. We'll see what happens. But you need to quit busting these people in and bust them back out. And that bus, instead of it going to New York or Florida or any of the other places, because they're going to, even if you move them out of your state, they go somewhere else to that state's sanctuary state. They're going to do like Chicago, like Illinois, and you're going to have illegals arresting U.S. citizens. I did a video on that a couple days ago. Excuse me for my raspy voice. The stuff they spray in the air. I'm telling you guys. But so, according to the Washington Post, the barrier includes a layer of webbing to stop people from swimming underneath it, and the marine barrier installation is expected to span 1,000 feet in the stretch of the river near Eagle Pass. Jim Eagle. Jim Eagle. And so all I can say is I just don't know. We'll just see. It's going to take a little while to get it all set up. We'll see what happens with Abbott. Let's see if it's all big theater. It is getting, I don't know when. Is it the capital E word getting around that time for him again? Is that what it is too? I'm trying to think here. Help me in the comment sections if you can remember. Now, let me show you some other stuff real quick. There is let me see. There is things happening now in Toronto, which I know is not the United States. But the fact of the matter is the article I'm going to show you backs up what I've been saying for a long time. And so technology has a good and a bad. You have a good and a bad. You have too much of anything is bad. Not enough of something is bad. Or maybe not bad, but we do know that too much of something is definitely bad. And in Toronto, in the zoo, there's been people that come up there and they have their cell phones and they'll put on video footage of other gorillas. And so they go to these gorilla display, or like, what do we call them? The exhibits, okay? And use their cell phone so that shows the image and it gets the gorilla's attention, and they sit there and they'll sit there all day long and do this. Let me read the article. Oh, well, I'll read the article after I give you my opinion about the whole thing. We shouldn't be on these cell phones all the time. Right now, thank gosh you're here watching this content, because what we're doing is we're trying to do something good. Now, if you get done with this, try your best not to spend your whole day on it. Just do your little bit of stuff, share these articles out, then enjoy the real world. The fine balance of the two is zen. It's yin and yang. It's yin and yang. You got technology bad, life good. Try your best to try to get the best out of both and make it work. But there's a lot of people with the weakness of not able to do so, and before you know it, it sucked their whole day away. Their whole day is gone. They didn't actually take time to do anything to enlighten themselves in a real world aspect. Now, let me read the article to you real quick, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's let me get over here. Totally. This Toronto Zoo wants visitors to stop showing a fascinated gorilla their phones so he can just hang out with his brother and be a gorilla. Okay, what they're meaning is the Toronto Zoo has advised guests to showing cell phone videos to the gorillas in their exhibit. Employees want the gorillas to focus on their natural habitat instead of their screens. But you, the human, are fine. Whatever, do whatever. Here, take this. One gorilla, though, was gifted a flat screen TV while recovering from an illness, and I guarantee you there was more to that, the whole thing, because you've got so many social experimentations going on, and especially when it comes to animals and programming and the association between the two and the humans and all that, and they like to run this data, and so there's way more to that whole thing than meets the eye. And a sign posted outside Toronto Zoo gorilla enclosure asked guests to refrain from showing them any videos or photos of some content that could be upsetting or affect their relationships and behavior with their family, according to the CTC News. So in other words, just the people coming in and showing just gorillas alone, cell phone footage of different things, and probably scenes in a jungle somewhere, and they actually have instinct that kicks in and they want to leave that place. And they don't want that technology affecting these people in quote unquote natural habitat. Now remember, the article said that, but they're in captivity. And they wanted to focus on their natural habitat instead of their screens. What it is they're censoring the gorillas. They're censoring what the gorillas can see. They don't want the gorillas to see that there's a whole life outside of this little box that they got them in. You got people like, here, gorilla dude, check out what your family looks like free. This is freedom right here. Yeah, they run around, don't have no cages. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And so like the gorillas see that more than likely, and it messes up what they're trying to do there. And so What would now let's just move that. So in other words, don't show our animals this, so it messes them up. But you can watch as much of anything through TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, whatever you want. You can have at it, and it's okay. It won't affect you, the human, in it at all. So let that be a little thinker right there. So what's good for the gorilla is good for the person. Anyway, goose for the gander. Oh, and by the way, too much of the cell phone stuff. Health professionals are now being told to call vaginas a bonus hole to avoid offending trans patients. Health professionals. Let me repeat that again. Health professionals are now being told to call the VGJs a bonus hole. So, what they're doing is two things, at least two things, but we'll just name the two off the top. They're taking what is normal and usable and sustainable because it is fact, and making that the gray area, not the brown area, but the gray area, and they're taking health professionals and beating them against the wall, theoretically, because of the fact that if you're a health professional, shouldn't you know what the professional and medical terms are for certain parts of your body? And now, if you're so professional, are you going to just go with that and go say, oh yeah, that's fine, we'll do that? I'm still a professional though, guys, I promise you. You'd be like Mayor Eric Adams talking about how much of a man he is. I'm a man. I came in a man, I walk out as a man. You Holocaust survivor, plantation owner. In other words, they'll have to announce that they are professionals, because in the way that they operate is so not professional that they'll have to say it to instill that to people so they can feel superior in their signal of virtue. But yeah, this is the thing now. Health professionals are now being told to call those things bonus holes. Don't want to offend the trans patients. I want a Trans Am. I'm going to, guys, and I'm a Wheel Fix It team. I don't care what year model. I'm going to find me a Pontiac Trans Am, and we're going to put a 302 Ford motor in that sucker and if I have to find an adapter plate, we'll put a Chrysler transmission in there. And then we're going to make a YouTube video out of it. What do you think in the comment sections? Are you with me on that? But anyway, so, but the whole thing is totally not at all one bit. So it can't be dangerous. It can't be dangerous at all. It's got to be just flowers and marshmallows under a vacuum pump. And that's a weird thing if you're to watch that happen. You should see what happens when you put marshmallows in a jar and put vacuum over that jar. It looks like what happened to what's her name, Nicki Minaj's brother's things after he got the squirty squirt. If anybody remembers what's happened, she did a thing on that, and then they left, no, Nicki Minaj, don't tell people about that. Anyways, trans activist who served 30 years in jail for attempted murder tells London crowd, if you see so the word turf to me, just always, I worked on a golf course as a mechanic. So, you got your turf tires, you got your turf taming machines, whatever. And that was even the name of like one of the mowers that they used to cut the greens after they'd aerify. It was the turf tamers or whatever. So anyways, then you had reels for that. But apparently that's a whole new term now. I'm learning some. I had to actually, when I seen this, I've heard it, I had to read about it. And that just means turf is somebody who doesn't think that you can flip the polarity of a magnet around. I'm just using some code talk for algorithms. Hopefully that works. I don't know. But this person right here, this dude, Sarah Joanne Baker, it was probably Samothy at one time. But anyways, served 30 years in jail for attempted murder and told a London trans pride crowd to punch a turf if you see one. It says, Baker took the stage holding an Antifa flag and told the crowd, I was going to come here and be really fluffy and be really nice and say, yeah, be really lovely and queer and gay, but nah, if you see a turf, punch them in the face. And I'm pretty sure the voice isn't far off. I know I'm making that voice up, but like, I just kind of was, I did what it's doing, that whole thing where you judge a book by its cover. And a lot of times, like when we watch TV, I'll make a voice. Let's see. Here we go. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what's going to happen here. This could go bad.
I was going to come here and be really fluffy and be really nice and say, yeah, be really lovely and queer and gay. No, if you see a turf, punch him in the fucking face. I was going to come here and be really fluffy.
No, don't do that. Please. I'm okay. So my voice was a little bit off. A little bit off. I should have been more. I forgot it's in London. What movie? The Mad Max movie where the dudes on the motorcycles. What, you know, I figured out what was going on there when there was two dudes and stuff, and you know, multiple sets of two dudes riding motorcycles together. That wasn't just their friend or their mate. Okay, yeah, that mate. You know, there was like, anyways, that whole thing. Mel Gibson was in that stuff. Yeah, Mel Gibson. No, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, it's Mel Gibson, wasn't it? It was Mel Gibson, come to think of it. It was. Man, and dude, so you really got to like give that dude support because the movie Sound of Freedom is off the chain, and it's a wonderful thing. It's really got a bunch of lefties. Whatever. Those people that do all the bad stuff. They're not liking it at all. They're really, 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 really like, who are you watching that for? Who are you watching that for? Kind of like Carl. Look, imagine an English sling blade. What'd you kill him for? What'd you kill him for? Or a lawnmower blade. Yeah. Dude. So anyhow, I'm gonna go to work now and work on some cars, and I want you to have a wonderful day and do the best you can. A lot of stuff going on, and so we are going to keep on bringing this content. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let everybody know what's going on, and just laugh at these people. If you laugh at them, it pisses them off. But don't take no, whatever the heck that last thing was say. Don't take none of those from them. You know, always return the favor. If somebody's kind enough to bless you with a nice little, whatever you want to call it, bump upon the face, always return the favor. Yes, let the gift keep on giving. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and have a wonderful week ahead, and I'm out.